next presenting company is CLS with CEO Mogren. Welcome, Don.
Thank you so much. I'd like to take the opportunity to present to you clinical laserthermia systems. Who are we? Well, I think we are a well-known company by now. We've been working ever since mid-2000, and we're a medical device company, or a medtech company. We develop and we sell image-guided laser-based treatment systems for minimally invasive treatments of various cancers and drug-resistant epilepsy. We're actually one of few companies in the world that develops and supplies this type of cutting-edge technology. Our head office is in Lund, and we have subsidiaries in Germany. We have subsidiary in Singapore and in US. And we are a team of 18 professionals. Our shares are listed at Nasdaq First North, growth market. Management team of our company has 7 members. In addition to myself, I have Stefan Dümling, who is our CTO. I have Lars-Erik Eriksson, who is our CFO. We have enlarged the management team and strengthened the management team lately. We have Lotta Nilsson, who is our VP Marketing. We have Hoda Tafik, who is our VP Clinical Affairs. Christina, who has been with us for many years, is our technical manager. And we also have another person that is added to the management team in the company, who's Anders Kvallander, who is the VP for RNA/QA. All in all, today we have a very strong management team at CLS. We offer a complete solution with a clear benefit to patients and to hospitals. We're meeting the constantly increasing demand for cost-effective, minimally invasive treatments in the world. Today's traditional surgical procedures are quite often associated with risks and resulting side effects. So the move from open surgical procedures, more invasive procedures, to less invasive procedures is a trend today across the globe. CLS products integrates with equipment and workflow that is already in use within the healthcare system today. And it fuels the move going from open surgical procedures to minimal invasive procedures. We have partnerships with different global suppliers across the globe. Among others, we have Siemens Healthineers that we work with on the imaging side. We have the ClearPoint Neuro that we have as a partner in US on the stereotactic navigation and positioning systems. We also today have a broad market approval for our products in US and in Europe. Our portfolio today that is branded TRANBERG has now come to a second generation. We've gone through one evolution. The first generation products that we launched into the US market back in 2015, we have now further developed into a second generation. And that incorporates a system that operates with multiple imaging and instrument navigation systems today. We have one system that is designed for and integrates with ultrasound. It could integrate with DT or CT imaging systems. We have a second system configuration that we've added the ThermoGuide workstation. That system is designed for use with magnetic resonance imaging, which also allows us to do real-time monitoring of temperature and tissue destruction and damage. This is really what the target is for our system as we are ablating tissue. Both TRANBERG systems include capital goods as well as sterile single disposables. These disposables are then used in each treatment of patients, regardless of the indication and the procedure. Our business model includes both out-licensing as well as commercialization in-house and through distributors. The revenue model that we have in the company is primarily based on sales of our sterile disposable products that are used in the treatment. Today we operate and focus on 3 different market segments where we find great potential for this technology. We work on urology market segment where we focus on the indication localized prostate cancer. We work in the neurosurgery market segment, where we focus on the glioblastoma and drug-resistant epilepsy. We also have a third market segment in what we call oncology, where we're focusing on late-stage spread cancer. If we start looking at what's going on in the urology market, today the urology market for us means treatment of localized prostate cancer. These treatments today include open surgery of the prostate. It also includes active surveillance of these patients. There's about 1.7 million new cases globally every year of localized prostate cancer. The markets in Europe and US are valued at over $35 billion US, and it's growing approximately 12% per year. Now, the customers that we target in this segment are both hospitals, but also private clinics and private prostate centers that has substantial prostate programs. I'm going to show you an animation here that will tell you a little bit about what it looks like as a procedure when we treat prostate cancer. This is our single-use device or kit that you can see here. We insert it into the prostate gland, into the tumor, and this is done, in this case, we can see that it's done inside an MR scanner. Our system is installed and communicates with the MR scanner. So once we placed our laser applicator, we can visualize it by an MR scan. We know where it is in the prostate. We do a test run. We put the laser on. That can show up on the screen as a temperature increase in the prostate in our system. So the treating physician knows that in the right position. He turns on the laser again, and we heat up the tissue for a few minutes. That results in tissue destruction. In this case, it would be a tumor that we're destroying using our system. We are extracting the instruments again, and the patient goes back into the ward. The patient is typically watched for about a couple of hours, and then the patient is ready to go home. So this really is day surgery, where the patient is treated for about 2 hours and can go home after an additional couple of hours. So it really is a minimal invasive and fast treatment. So what problems are we really solving within the urology segment, focusing on prostate cancer? Well, today patients are being treated either with active surveillance or with surgery. I should say active surveillance is actually not an active treatment. It is actually something that the patient is being offered because surgery today is very often related to some side effects, such as problems with urinating, problems with erection. So hence, the patients are often offered just active surveillance to start with. Now, with a minimal invasive procedure that our products can perform, we can fit the gap between active surveillance and radical surgery. So with the image-guided laser ablation solutions that we do have, we have a very precise technology. So with the lesser invasive treatment as such, and with the precision of our equipment, we can either remove the tumor or control its growth without damaging surrounding tissue and without causing the same type of side effects as open surgery does. So what's our strategy and status within the segment of urology? Well, we have established today initial sales in the US. We're selling products into MR-based procedures in the US today. There's more than 250 procedures done today in the US using our technology in prostate cancer treatments. We get about $2,500, about 2,000 euros, for each sterile disposable kit that is being used. Now, our second generation of the TRANBERG system that I just mentioned is now undergoing investigator-initiated studies in Germany, the Netherlands, and the US. And the launch of our second generation system of the TRANBERG products are initiated in Q2 in US and in Europe this year. Moving over to the neurosurgical market segment, where we also have a focus. Here we're looking at glioblastoma patients. We're looking at patients that has drug-resistant epilepsy. It's about 50,000 new cases a year with glioblastoma, which is a very aggressive cancer type with very few treatment options available. Now, these markets are highly valued as well. We see that the glioblastoma market today on the drug side is at least 1.8 billion, and it has an average growth of about 13% per year. Now, the global market for the epilepsy drugs is expected to reach more than 5 billion in 2027. So this is a market segment where the treatments are relatively expensive, and particularly when it comes to glioblastoma, the results are poor. So the customers we target here with our system for minimally invasive ablations in the brain, our customers are hospitals. So again, what problems are we solving within neurosurgery? So again, we are image guided. In this case, we work with the MR platform for these procedures, and we work with stereotaxy, which is a navigation system and positioning systems for our instruments that place them very exactly, very precise in the brain. And by this, we solve the problem that open surgery cannot solve, meaning patients where open surgery is not compatible. So the patients cannot withstand open surgery. And that is a lot of the patients. So we estimate that about 75% of the relevant patient groups can be treated using our technology. So again, coming back to strategy and status for CLS in this field, commercialization in this field will be done through ClearPoint Neuro, who is our partner since a couple of years back, who is a market leader in stereotactic navigation systems within neurosurgery. That means that basically CLS has no cost of sales. We only get revenues of about $2,000 per disposable kit. And today, we're currently in a pre-launch phase, and we are hoping that during this year, we can transition to the next stage, which will be a limited launch. This is through the 510(k) clearance that we submitted in Q4 last year. And in the US and in Europe, we have just initiated a clinical trial together with Skåne University Hospital here in Lund. And in Asian Pacific region, we have preparations ongoing for product registrations of our products. So looking at the last, but maybe the largest market segment for CLS, which is in oncology, where we're looking at metastatic cancer or cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. It's a huge segment, and where the patients really suffer and die when they have cancer treatment. So CLS here is basing its product on a particular treatment protocol that was researched by Professor Collier and TRANBERG. Now, for quite some years ago, we developed a specific immune stimulatory ablation protocol that are being used to treat patients systemically that has spread cancer. Today, we have a phase 2 clinical study ongoing with the company Immunophotonics. Study is at a couple of sites in Switzerland. And after some feasibility studies, we found it interesting and motivating to continue into this type of study, which is more of a pivotal study, combining our product and our protocol with their drug. As I said, the huge market potential. I mean, we're looking at 16 million people that dies in different cancer diseases every year. Now, the CLS new generation of TRANBERG products that has been further developed to work with the MR platform will deliver a more precise, more accurate treatment, which fits very well with the IMLT protocol. So this protocol really is designed specifically for treatment of metastatic disease. It could be delivered either as a monotherapy, or it could be delivered as a combination therapy, which is the case with the clinical trial ongoing right now. So where's the company heading? So activities here in this year, which is example of of activities that is within those strategic fields. So expanding our organization is something we've done starting 21 and 22 to make sure that we have the resources required for us to go to market and to support cases both in clinical trials as well as in product evaluation agreements and in the initial phase of a new site using our products. So we have added to our team clinical application specialists to support these cases. We strengthened our marketing and communication. I think you might have seen that we have a new website, new portal with a different setup than the previous one. It focuses more on our customers, it focuses more on offering to the market, and it includes more information on these different market segments that I just mentioned. This year, we're also looking at the end of the year, a full-scale commercial launch into urology in Europe, and maybe more specifically and more effectively, I should say, in the US market. And this, we're looking at the late 2022. We have, during the year, been exhibiting at two different events. We went to the European Conference of Intervention Oncology, that was in Vienna this year. We've also been at the American Urology Association in US to really start off showcasing and launching our systems for the treatment of prostate cancer. We're looking at receiving an approval from the FDA within neurosurgery, and we're hoping for that in 2022. This will then make the possibility for us in ClearPoint move into the next phase in our collaboration and to start the commercialization of our systems in neurosurgery. We also anticipate that we have products registered at the health authority in Singapore during the first half of this year. If we look at the financial results of the company going back to 2020 and 2021, we have seen a slight increase in net sales during this period of time. We're expecting to see an even more increase in sales in 2022. The year of 2020-21, as we know, been affected by the COVID situation, the pandemic. We're getting out of it now. We're seeing better responses from the market right now, and we're hoping for better numbers in 2022. So why should you invest in CLS? I want to spend a little time just talking about that. So we provide the minimal invasive treatment options that is there for severe diseases where surgery is not an option. We also have the IMRT protocol for late-stage cancer where most of the cancer patients die. That is a unique protocol that meets an unmet need within that segment. We have products that are compatible with and easily integratable with the existing hospital systems and for treatment precision and effect. We have significant immediate market potential for laser ablation for localized prostate cancer and brain tumors and epilepsy. As I said, we entered into the pre-launch now and we are launching this year products. We expect to see some happenings in 2022 and as we move in 2023. And really seeing things taking off in the company. We have a global market organization already in place. We have the subsidiaries, as I mentioned earlier on, in Germany. We have one in Singapore just recently opened, and then we have the company in the US. So we are present already now in 3 different regions in the world. And we have already partners in place like Siemens, Healthineers, ClearPoint, and we have distributors also in place for our products. So, all in all, this is CLS today. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. And CLS sponsors a clinical study in brain tumors at Skåne University Hospital. Can you give us an update on this project?
So the study is on glioblastoma. And as I said, this is a very aggressive cancer type with very few treatment options. The study is designed to treat 5 patients as an early feasibility study. We got everything in place, all the approvals, everything is there. We're at the hospital, we installed our equipment, we trained the people at the hospital. We have received very good responses from the hospital. They've even communicated with media about the collaboration and moving into treating patients in the MR. So this is really an MR-based procedure. Now, we're in the phase now where they have started recruiting patients. So we're expecting to see candidates coming up within the next month. This is the status of the study right now.
Thank you for joining us today in the studio.
Thank you so much.